Hi all. The project is in touch with you, Guru.Markets. Thank you very much for paying attention to us. Dear viewer, we kindly ask you to give this video your royal like. Your like is greatly needed for the development of the project Guru.Markets. Now we will compare the main indicators of the company with you, Fitell Corporation, ticker FTEL. The review was created on the basis of data at the time, August 28, 2024. By classification Guru.Markets company Fitell Corp belongs to the subcategory Fitness. 23 companies take part in the comparison, which is quite representative. Let's start with summary information about the company. If you're interested, you can pause the video. You can look at each indicator of the organization under study in more detail. Access to the database with the structure of company tickers is absolutely free and open. We kindly ask you to distribute this release among your friends. Thank you for your repost, as well as other help. We really need it all. Market capitalization of the company Fitell Corporation valued at $0.19 billion, with a subcategory capitalization of $51 billion. Fitell Corp has a share of 0.368% and is one of the very small companies in the subcategory. The company's balance sheet capitalization is $0.01 billion, with a balance sheet capitalization of the subcategory of $13 billion. Fitell Corporation constitutes a share of 0.077%. Having made a comparison of the occupied shares of market and book value, we see the following. Occupied share Fitell Corp in a subcategory in case of market value assessment is 0.368%. The book value is 0.077%, which is 79% less than the share of the exchange value. Assessment of the company's share of market and balance sheet capitalization in the subcategory. Bad, -1 point. Overall company assessment Fitell Corp will be demonstrated at the very end of the review. Please review the logic of the analysis in full. The organization under study has debts of $0.001 billion. Debt to book value is 10% of equity. Result on the company's debt obligations. Very good, 2 points. The company's stock price to earnings balance is 0. While the average in the subcategory is 68, which is worse than the average in the subcategory. Assessment of stock market value to its profit in comparison with in the subcategory. Very bad, -2 points. Profit for the last 12 months was -$4 million. Forward earnings for the next 12 months are unknown. And this is very bad for the company's price. An assessment of the projected future profit indicator in comparison within the subcategory. Bad, -1 point. The company's value to revenue ratio is 48.8. The subcategory average of 1.2 is 3,967% higher than the subcategory average. Assessment of the company's market value to revenue indicators in comparison with indicators in the subcategory. Bad, -1 point. Revenue for the last 12 months was $0 million. Forward revenue for the next 12 months is unknown. This is extremely negative for the company's prospects. Assessment of expected future revenue indicators in comparison with the indicators of subcategory companies. Bad, -1 point. If you are interested in such analytics, in this case, I kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell. For you, because it's free, you will greatly help the development of the project Guru. Markets. Thank you for your valuable subscription. The sales margin is minus 108.5%, with an average in the subcategory of 1.8%. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 110.2%. Assessment of marginality in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory. Tolerable, minus 0.5 points. The company's share in terms of the number of subcategory personnel is 0.009%, which is 3,989% less than the share of market capitalization. And this fact reflects the imbalance of the current exchange value of the organization Fitell Corporation, probably towards revaluation. The amount of market capital per company employee is $13,486,000. And in the subcategory, there are $314,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 4,194.9%. Estimation of the amount of capital per employee in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory. Tolerable, 0 points. The profit per employee is minus $300,000. The average in the subcategory is $4,600. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 6,395%. Estimation of profit per employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory. Tolerable, minus 0.5 points. The share of sales per individual employee of the organization is $271,000. In the subcategory, there are $261,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 4%. Estimation of the share of revenue per employee in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory. Tolerable, minus 0.5 points. The volume of sales transactions corresponds to 36%, with an average for the subcategory of 10.1%. This is an indicator of a possible short squeeze. Technical indicator RSI 14 shows the 50% level for the company Fitell Corporation, whereas for the subcategory this level is approximately 52%. Potentially, securities of the subcategory are valued approximately the same as shares Fitell Corporation. Comparing the dynamics of a company's share price Fitell Corporation and subcategory companies, we will see that over the last 12 months, the shares Fitell Corporation showed a change of 565.9%. Against price changes in the subcategory 11.2%. This does not clearly indicate anything, but it is necessary to keep this fact in mind. The overall result is minus 5.5 out of 10 points. The average result for the subcategory is 2 points. If you look very broadly within the entire market as a whole, you can see that the average result for the market as a whole is 0.3 points. Against a score of minus 5.5 points for Fitell Corporation. Let's look at the order table. It is available. The link is in the pinned comment. The order table contains absolutely all previously made decisions by the stock valuation information system Guru.Markets. Access to the order table is absolutely free. Link in pinned comment. Let us remind you that August 27, 2024. An order has been published, ticker FTEL. Information and Reference Assessment System Guru.Markets, a decision has been made on this order. Close the order. The profit was 6.4%. Many thanks to everyone for watching to the end and for using the Information and Reference System Guru.Markets. You really are the coolest audience on the planet.